So we're going to do something really stupid in this video, but we're going to do it for what I hope is a somewhat intelligent reason. Obviously, I've made several videos covering what it is like to run Windows 11 on the original Surface Duo. And when I make these videos, there's a really fine line that I'm trying to walk. Because on one hand, I want to talk about how incredibly impressive this project is. The fact that it's working at all is incredible. Wi-Fi is working. Bluetooth is working. There's so much good stuff here that it's really, really impressive, and I'm excited to bring it to you. But at the same time, I have to communicate how far this is from being something you're going to want to daily drive. And yet I get comments from people saying, I just bought a Duo to do this because I'm going to run this. No, you're not. Not yet. We're not there yet. So the fine line I have to walk is, I'm excited. Look at this. This is really cool. But also telling you it's not anywhere remotely approaching something that you can daily drive yet. But I also don't want to sound like I'm just taking a great big dump on the work that Gus is doing, because it's incredible. We have to keep this in perspective. This is one individual doing this work, and it is a metric ton of work. It's going to take a long time to get this done. So that's the fine balance. That's the line that I have to walk. Communicating where it is while communicating reasons to be excited, while also not sounding like I'm being really mean about the work that Gus is doing, undermining or maybe making it sound less than it is. So with that preamble out of the way, what we're going to do in this video was inspired by a post on Reddit. This is talking about this most recent update to Windows 11 on Duo, and someone asked, I wonder how will Android apps on Windows work with this. They're talking about the Windows subsystem for Android, where you can run Android apps inside Windows 11. Dale Ross says you would use phone link. Android system does not work, and of course that is true. Virtualization is not a hardware feature on this processor, so running Android apps in this is not going to happen else you use the phone link app. So I responded and I said using phone link to get Android apps on your phone is something that I need to try, even though it might cause the universe itself to implode. So that is what we're going to do in this video. You may have seen me tweet about it already. The tweet went somewhat viral for my small Twitter following. But we are going to be running Windows 11 here, Android here, and we're going to be streaming the screen or an app from this phone running Android to this phone running Windows, because why not? But also, because it's going to show how rough this process is. I really want you guys to see how impressive it is, but also how not daily drivable this scenario is going to be. So I'm going to be very thorough in this process. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we got to boot into Windows 11. So you got to start off in Android. That is where it is naturally going to live. You have to boot from Android into Windows 11. And to do this, you have to run a console command inside ADB. Now, to make this a little bit easier for myself, I have my own little shortcut, and I can show you this here in just a moment. All right, here are my three shortcuts. One that just goes into ADB, one that actually boots into mass storage mode, which is useful for many things like driver updates, or one that boots into Windows 11. In order to boot into Windows 11, this is, you can kind of see the command here. Maybe I'll paste these commands in the description. You're gonna have to modify them or change where you're keeping your files at to make them match this. But basically, what it does is it launches command prompt. It changes directory to my ADB folder. It waits appropriate amounts of time between these things. It does ADB reboot bootloader. It pauses for a minute. Then it does fastboot boot UEFI, which actually sends the UEFI file over to boot into Windows 11. If this already sounds complicated to you, this is something you're going to have to do literally every time you want to boot into Windows 11. And it does right now, because of some graphic GPU driver issues, it does tend to crash when it's in standby mode. So you close it for a little while, you open it back up, and it's turned off, and you boot back into Android. You got to do this whole process again. But I will show you how brief this process is. It doesn't take a ton of time, especially when you have this shortcut. All right, so Surface Duo right here plugged into my computer. We're going to run the Windows 11 command. I'm going to drag it over here so that you can see it. You can see that my Duo has now shut off. We are waiting for 15 seconds in order to send the UEFI file over, because you have to wait for Duo to actually boot into this screen here. 2, 1. We are sending the boot.img over, and it should at this point boot into Windows 11, but we'll let this kind of play itself out so that you can see how long this takes. At this point, you are actually free to unplug the thing, and I will do that, and I'll just kind of set it here so that you can see how long this process takes and kind of what the steps are. So now we are looking at your little boot menu. You can hit your power button to select Windows there. That looks like Windows, I forget what the name of that is, I'm blanking, but it's your boot screen. You will get this sort of glitched out screen on the other side. Oh, I'm actually running an update, so maybe this won't be the normal amount. Okay, that was pretty similar. This screen has been staying glitched out for me for some reason, even after signing in. And what I've been having to do is once I'm actually at my desktop, I'll show you what I've been doing to kind of fix that. Okay, so we're on our desktop. I'm gonna hit the power button. I'll hit it again. Let's see if it kind of fixes itself. Yeah, kind of. Okay, so there you go. So that is now working. So we're in Windows 11 now. All right, so Windows 11, Android 11, it's perfect. It all works out great. On my link to Windows screen here, I've disconnected from my home computer. And I'm going to try to just connect here to Duo, because I've already set this up because it was a bit of an arduous process. But I'm having a hard time actually getting it to connect. Over here, let's try and launch the Phone Link app. And as you can see, the graphical glitches are very much there. But we're just having a hard time actually connecting to the device. You can make out there that it says that it is in fact offline. We may have to go through the entire setup process again because it is not wanting to work. So let's see if I can actually manage to do that. All right, we're gonna go through the add device process. So let's get started over here. Let's continue over here. Have the link to Windows app ready. Will I get lucky with a QR code actually generate? Because it has a hard time with that sometimes. We have a QR code, and luckily it's not graphically glitched out. It's small though. Okay, it snagged it. It seems to be waiting on permissions to be accepted, where of course they already are. So I'm gonna see if I can just close Phone Link and open it back up, because sometimes it likes to hang on that exact step, but it's actually functional. It just doesn't know it yet, and that appears to be the case here. So let's click on Apps. Yep, I understand how this works. So let's click on Open Phone Screen. And I don't actually know. Oh, I did. Okay. So we're trying here. It's trying to load the phone screen. I should get something over here. This should go black, or I should get a permission thing to pop up. Still working on it, it says. And of course, graphically glitched out pretty badly. Okay, after a lot of fiddling, and then I had to update the Phone Link app again. Boom, there we are. Oh man, that was a lot. But you can see there, maybe one of the dumbest things I've ever attempted to do. This is a Surface Duo running Windows 11, a Surface Duo 2 running Android 11, streaming its display over to the other Duo. Why would you do? I don't know, but you can do it. It's a thing. How well does it work? Let's scroll around. Let's see, can we go home? We went home. Let's open up Twitter. Let's come over here and let's open up YouTube. And can we scroll around? Can we scroll? Let's play a video here. Let's get a video playing. The sound is coming out of this one, so I guess that solves the sound problem. No sound can come out here. You just keep your other Duo on you, and that will be your speaker. It's perfect. It makes so much sense. Some sort of violence happening on my Twitter timeline. Okay, so that's the thing. What about launching individual applications? If you can manage to see what app you are launching, let's just do YouTube again, because that's a big one that everyone wants to see most of the time. So let's launch YouTube. Of course, it's launched over here. So let's drag it over, and then let's very carefully drag it over. Can I maximize it? So it's not quite taking up the whole screen like you would hope, right? Because it's the same sort of screen, but we still have some negative space over there. Can't seem to get it to let me go back. That's wanting to like resize. There's a back button up top. I guess I can just use that. What's interesting is that the graphical glitches aren't really plaguing the Android apps being streamed over all that badly. This is actually working pretty well. Of course, I picked something that does not actually have a video playing. I mean, you know, in a way that is working. All right, let's close that. Let's go back. Let's do TikTok. Why not? Everybody loves TikTok. Drag that over as well. Let's kind of maximize it. And I mean, you know, it's working as well as you could possibly hope for it to work. This will be an interesting one for me. This is Radar Omega. It is my favorite radar app. Does pinch to zoom all work? It does. It does. So, I mean, honestly, you could make the argument that Android apps streaming over are working better than native Windows apps because the graphical glitches don't seem to be plaguing it in quite the same way. Now, of course, to do this, this would require you having a Samsung phone, a modern Samsung phone, or a Surface Duo 2, or another Surface Duo to facilitate the running of apps. Because again, without virtualization, Windows subsystem for Android will not be a thing that's going to happen on here unless maybe there's some workaround, but I don't know how that would possibly work because it's not actually hardware supported. For now, this is going to be probably forever the only way to do this. But you saw the difficulty in doing that. You saw the difficulty of just navigating the applications. And look, again, I don't want to make it sound like I'm just poo-pooing what Gus has done here. I'm not, but I want to really communicate to you, don't buy a Duo thinking you're going to run this today, okay? This is probably still months out, if ever. We really don't know if this is ever going to be something on the same standard in terms of stability as Android is. So guys, thanks for watching this very strange video. Don't forget to subscribe. Link to this project in the description. I will see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.